Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mallory, a mom to 2 under 2, military wife and registered nurse. And here I am in our beautiful new kitchen space. It's my favorite room in our new house, and I am going to be talking today about restocking our pantry after a PCS or a move. If you're interested in videos about motherhood, how to have a healthy pregnancy and healthy baby, military life, make sure to hit the red subscribe button down below so that you will not miss any future videos. All right, so like I mentioned, and if you've watched any previous videos that I've just put up in the last month, you will know that we just moved from California to Kansas. And this is due to my husband's military service. He's in the Army, and so he is currently stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas. This home is our first home that we've bought. So we're first-time homeowners, and the kitchen is my most favorite spot in the house. It's the most beautiful in my opinion. And so I couldn't wait to film a video in my kitchen. So today I'm going to be talking about some tips, and I have a little helper down here, on restocking your pantry after you move, whether you're military or not. So you don't have to be military in order to get something out of this video, but you may be military if you are watching this video. Okay, so first, before I actually show you my pantry, which it's a makeshift pantry right now because they're still building it, and our fridge and freezer, I want to give you some tips, like some general tips for restocking your pantry. Also, just a side note, if it sounds echoey in here, it's because it is. We don't have our furniture yet, but it's coming tomorrow. Okay, so there's two scenarios for when you move. The first scenario would be a long distance move, which is what we personally did. Actually, all of our previous moves have been long distance. So if you're moving a long distance like we did, there are certain things from the kitchen that you just cannot bring. Dry goods and non-perishables are totally feasible. Canned goods, dry goods like rice, pasta, all that kind of stuff, totally cool. But obviously it would be impractical to bring refrigerated items, and especially frozen items. They just will not survive the trip from like California, Kansas, for example. However, if you are moving just a few hours away, then bringing your refrigerated and even frozen items is totally feasible. You just have to think ahead, maybe get like a huge cooler and put a bunch of ice in there, put your frozen items in there. You know, it would be like if you were going on, you know, maybe you lived a long way from like a Costco or a wholesale club or something like that, and you wanted to buy frozen items, you would have to prepare in kind of the same way. So if you're moving a short distance, no more than like a couple hours, then I would say you can totally bring your stuff from the freezer and refrigerator. And then of course, there's the scenario of if you are moving to or from overseas, which we have done. We lived in Germany for 2 years. And obviously in that situation, there's even less things food-wise that you can bring because you're getting on a plane and there's only so much you can bring in your luggage. So really the only stuff you'd be able to bring the only food items that you'd be able to bring with you would be snack items, you know, non-perishable things. However, remember that with your packers, when you get packed up, they can pack dry goods. So your non-perishable, your canned goods. There are some restrictions on glass. You just have to check with your moving company, but typically they will pack even opened dry goods. So your spice rack, rice, dried beans, pastas, all that kind of stuff. I have had no problem with movers either within the United States or going to and from Germany. No problem at all getting those things packed up. So you will eventually get those things, but in this video, I'm specifically going to be addressing how to restock your pantry, like when you first get to your new place. Because we have been living here for a few weeks without our household goods, and therefore everything that I had the movers pack from our pantry. Now, some quick tips on actually acquiring new items for your pantry. So first, focus on the basics. You want to focus on buying things that will just get you through each day, that you eat a lot of, and staple items. So you have things like meat, your cooking fats, seasonings, you know, because you want to be able to have flavorful food, fresh and or frozen fruits and vegetables, cheese, other dairy products, bread, basic condiments like ketchup, mustard, pickles, that kind of stuff if you like that. Just focus on the basics, and I would say don't worry about products for baking. I mean, unless you're a huge baker and you brought a few like baking pans with you, but personally I have not done any like baking of like cookies or muffins or anything like that. Don't worry about stocking up right away on like flour and baking soda, baking powder, that kind of stuff. Also, that kind of stuff is more pricey, especially if you're like me and you're trying to be gluten-free or organic. That kind of stuff is the more pricey items. So I would say just focus on the basic stuff to get you through each meal. And then you can worry about like the baking products later. And then a tip for grocery shopping in a place. I personally love grocery shopping. That may sound strange to some because I know that some ladies out there do not like grocery shopping, but I personally enjoy it. And so what I have been doing is focusing on a different grocery store every week. And I do go other places too, but I focus on like one store per week as my main place to shop and explore, because you really need to get a feel for what the different grocery stores offer, especially if you're moving from one region to another. They're gonna have different grocery chains. So here in around Fort Riley, Kansas, the two like big box grocery stores are Dillon's, which is part of like the Kroger network, which I'm familiar with Kroger because I'm from Texas, and then Hy-Vee, which is actually an employee-owned, like independent grocery store. They might be other places other than Kansas, I'm not sure, but so those are like the two big box ones. We have an Aldi, and then of course the commissary on base. There are no like chain health food stores or anything like that. But basically that's what I've been doing. I've been focusing on a different store every week and then filling in with other places as I need it. And then finally, if you are waiting on your household goods to arrive, then do yourself a favor and buy paper plates, paper bowls, plastic cups, and plastic utensils. That is not something that I use on a regular basis. I really like using real plates and real silverware, but in this case, it has just been so nice with the stress of everything else to have disposable eating ware, and you just throw it in the garbage when you're done. So do yourself a favor, maybe go to a big like club membership store and buy a huge pack of those paper plates. And actually we did that and we're getting low on them. So you will go through them, so don't be afraid to go buy that. All right, so now we're gonna do the fun part. That's it for my tips. We are going to actually take a look in the fridge, freezer, and our little makeshift pantry, which is basically some shelving. And I'm gonna show you what we have in stock. So let's go. All right, first of all, can we just admire how gorgeous this refrigerator is? This was a little bit of an upgrade this is a new build, and so we were able to pick stuff, and I said, I really want the French door refrigerator with a drawer on the bottom because it's just lots more room. So let's take a look in here. So on the side, we have our dairy products. So I don't normally have sour cream in stock, but I'm making a Mexican dish this week, so I wanted it for that. You know, you want to have some healthy snacks on hand, so something that Max and I, my 18-month-old boy down there that I'm letting play with water, so I can film this video. Don't worry, these floors are waterproof. We both really like cottage cheese, so I have that on hand. I eat yogurt almost every morning, and then kefir. So this is kind of like my dairy shelf. And then down here we have some other drinks, pure orange juice, coconut water, some water kefir, and then some lemonade that I'm actually going to make into some gummies. And then we have the butter drawer, or it's not really a drawer, but I have butter and cream cheese down here. So butter is one of your healthy cooking fats that you want to have on hand. I threw out the box, but this is actually grass-fed butter. And yeah, it's really good. And butter is just a staple that everybody should have in their refrigerator. All right, let's look at the other side here. So this is the condiment section, and ultimately, those are not mine. Mark's brother left those with us. Yeah, he left that and these, which I'll use those. But anyway, so this is our little condiment section. So basics, I have some stone ground Dijon mustard, probiotic sauerkraut. Bubby's is my very favorite brand. Some jam, some jam from Aldi, raspberry preserves, organic pickles back here, some peanut butter. I don't really eat peanut butter, but sometimes Max does, and I used it for a dish, a Thai dish. Ketchup, of course, and then coconut aminos, which this is actually one of the items that I brought with us. We rented a Penske truck or van and brought a bunch of things with us to help make life a little easier while we waited for our household goods. And so this was actually unopened, it was sealed. So this is something that I brought with us, but otherwise all the condiments I bought here. All right, so more staples. So let's just go from the bottom. So we have like our meat and cheese drawer. Eggs are an awesome staple to have on hand. Scrambled fried eggs makes a great breakfast. Usually I have breakfast meat back here, like bacon or sausage, but I have it in the freezer right now. Another staple to have on hand are lunch meats. So I found this at Aldi. It's really good, pretty good ingredients. This was from the commissary. But anyway, having a good stash of deli meat on hand for easy, quick lunches is a good idea, as well as cheese. So we have some Colby Jack, some mild cheddar. This is also from the local farm, and then some cheese sticks that I actually brought with us. All right, next up is fruit, the fruit drawer. So I have some lemons in here for putting in water, and then limes for cooking. And then we have a bunch of apples that I actually brought with us. And then these dried apricots, which I brought with us as well. But having fruit on hand is a great snack. Also, I have some organic grapes up here. So I always make sure I have enough fruit for snacking, because Max and I eat a bunch of it. Then the other drawer is the vegetable drawer. So I just cut up a tomato. I made BLTs for breakfast for myself. Lettuce, you know, is a good staple. Carrots, celery. I mean, you can do so much cooking with these, you know, carrots and celery, peppers. I've got cucumbers for snacking and for salads. You know, fresh herbs are not a necessity, but I did get them for a recipe. But, oh, this refrigerator gets mad when you have it open too long. Hold on. So let's start here. I already showed you the grapes, kind of along the lines of eggs. So I currently cannot tolerate eggs, and so I use flaxseed meal for egg substitute. So that's why I have that. These are, again, two like alcohol things from Mark's brother. Bone broth, chicken or beef or both, is a great staple to have, both for cooking and for sipping. And I got this at Aldi. Really great. Applesauce is another nice little staple to have on hand for snacks. I brought that with us. I got some chocolate chips just in case I decided to bake. Kind of breaking the rule that or you know, not the rule, the suggestion that I talked about. But, and then those are leftovers up there because I hardly have any containers for storing food. All right, the other side, let me put this back. I'm defrosting a chicken for dinner tonight, so that's why that's in here. Otherwise it would have been in the freezer. I have a bottle of cream. This is a local dairy farm here in Kansas. I did have it in the door, but then I remembered, like, oh, you're not supposed to put milk in the door because it will go bad faster. I have some gluten-free bread from Aldi. I've got my dates, leftover bacon. Mark really likes sparkling water, so that's a staple for us. I've got some more yogurt for when I run out. What is this? Canned fruit. That's another nice staple to have, is canned fruit, because it's just easy. You don't have to prepare it at all. And so, yeah. So as you can see, our refrigerator is not that full right now. Normally it's, maybe I'm just not used to having such a big refrigerator, but, oh, no, you don't want to eat this butter. Oh, hold on. Normally my refrigerator is not that empty, but you know, when you first move someplace, it's going to be a little bit empty as you fill in the gaps. So let's look at the freezer. All right, something I always have on hand are frozen berries. And so these are organic strawberries from Aldi, and then I found this triple berry blend with wild blueberries from the commissary. Also, my pregnancy indulgence lately has been ice cream, so that's why that's in there. And Mark has his keto ice cream. Excuse me. All right, let's go down here, and we have some frozen vegetables, so that's always a great staple to have. Our frozen veggies, you can always make a quick dinner with, you know, peppers and mixed veggies. We got some cauliflower rice here, green beans, you know. These are just really good things to have on hand. And then here's the meat section, and I get my meat from Butcher Box. And right after we got here, I put in an order, our first order for Kansas, and got it within a couple of days and stocked our freezer. So I've already used up like maybe half of the box. So we have steaks, ground pork, pork chops, the chicken in there is from Butcher Box. And then here's some breakfast sausage that I bought. Oh, we got some beef patties as well from Butcher Box. So, all right, everyone. So that, oh, I forgot the pantry. Hold on, we're not done. All right, so in here we have our pantry. They are in the process of putting it in still. Like I said, this is a new build. So this is gonna be our pantry, but for now, we got this shelf from Menards and have a few things. So another great staple to have on hand are canned tomato products. I always go for organic canned tomato products with no BPA in the lining. These are organic diced tomatoes and tomato sauce. We brought these with us. I've got more bone broth back here, applesauce pouches, which, you know, you can just do regular applesauce in containers, but if you have a little one and you're on the go, that's always a good snack. I have Lara bars that I brought with us, bone broth powder, you know, as you can see, we're really into bone broth. Dried fruit is another great staple, and I'll show you our snack area. And then oil and vinegars. I've got olive oil up here. I have some rolled oats. This is from Azure Standard. I brought that with us. So like, I'm just kind of showing you guys what we have so you can get an idea of what you might like to stock your pantry with. And then I've got a bag of rice down there that I brought with us as well. All right, and then in here, I've got our Lazy Susan, which is really nice with the child lock on it, of course. And this is kind of like my baking / snack area, and Max is gonna try to get in here. All right, so I organized our snacks down here. This is just a dishpan from the Dollar Tree, and these like silicone bags. So having snacks on hand when you're first moving in is really a good idea because you're gonna be hungry. So just whatever kind of snacks you like, you know, healthy, of course. Got some dried fruit, have some of these Siete tortilla chips, more pouches in there, these wisps here, and then we have some pork rinds, we have collagen, some healthier chocolate bars over there, and then I have some baking items that I brought with us, vanilla, molasses, these little things of like baking soda. I have this sprouted cereal and then also a pancake mix that I bought. So, you know, there's also some nuts back there as well. Then up here on the counter, I have some other staples. Honey is a great staple to have. This is Manuka honey, and this is a local honey that I bought on our travels. Oh, and then I have some other honey there that I've been using. Yeah, having honey is a great idea because you can put it in tea, coffee, baked goods. I have some brown rice flour. As you can see, I'm just starting to stock up on baking goods. So I actually got this so I can start making my own gluten-free sourdough again. Mark has his keto protein I have some quick rolled oats and then regular oats here. This cornstarch is not for eating, it's for making baby powder. Tea and coffee. These are some teas that I brought with us. And then I bought that coffee here. And then finally up here is my spice area. So most of these, well, maybe like half of these spices I brought with us. And then some of them I bought. Salt, always have your salt on hand, really important. And then up here, these were for a recipe. And then like I said, I've started stocking up. I got some beans back there for Max, baking soda, baking powder, coconut flour, and then gluten-free 1-to-1 flour. And then in here, I've just got some chips and salsa. And then on the side here, right next to the oven to make it convenient, potatoes. Another good staple. These are from the farms. They look very dirty. Again, salt. I've got 2 different types of salt. Pepper. I picked this up at the store because it's a good source of iodine. And then avocado oil is a healthy cooking fat. So, oh, and I have sweet potatoes over there. So that's pretty much, oh, bananas. Bananas are over there as well. So that's pretty much the kitchen with the food. All right, everyone, so that is the tour of my pantry, refrigerator, and freezer to give you guys an idea of what you might want to have in your own pantry after you move. Wow, that's a really pretty bird. It's like yellow with black wings. So, like I said, I really enjoy grocery shopping and looking for deals and finding my favorite places to shop and all of that. So if you have any questions about that kind of stuff, make sure to leave them in the comments below and we can have a conversation about grocery shopping and healthy eating and all of that cool stuff. So make sure, again, to hit subscribe so that you are notified. Actually, you have to hit subscribe and then the bell in order to be notified for when I post new videos. And in the meantime, take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everybody.